The common way to describe 2016 was dumpster fire. So let's continue that tradition here in 2017 with improv. You know improv, right? For years it's been the way to tell your parents who are visiting from out of town that you like them, you just don't love them. So strap in and prepare to be entirely whelmed. So I did this recently for my patrons over on Patreon, where I used this game called Once Upon a Time. I picked this up at NerdCon Stories this year. I'm going to draw 3 cards and just try and tell a story made up on the spot. And just like the movie Interstellar, it'll be more impressive than good. Provide all your hate comments to me down in the comments below. Okay, I am going to shuffle these cards here. Ooh, I just broke a card. Card down, card down. Here we are. We're going to use a tomb, a secret, and a fairy. Let's start storytelling. As these stories most often do, this one also happened once upon a time. There was this fairy who lived in a shrouded wood upon a hill that overlooked the kingdom of Davenport. Davenport was looked upon with glee and with optimism from all the surrounding kingdoms because it, amongst the entire land, was prosperous, the citizenry was happy, and the king was very well liked. But there was a dark, dark secret. Only upon the cover of night, and only if you were really looking from the portcullis on the west side of the castle, there would be a lone figure in a shrouded hood that would escape and make its way into the woods that it looked upon the hill. The big secret that the kingdom never wanted to get out was the fact that the people felt so happy, the reason why there was so much prosperity, the reason why there seemed to be endless food and endless energy was because there was a fairy child stolen every month. And the fairy kind knew this. They just could not forsake their ancestral lands. They wanted to stay where they had grown up their entire lives. And they had tried to fortify the region. They had tried to take up arms. But as their culture had never tried or never been one to be aggressive in any type of way, they often fell prey to the king's men. And so this shrouded figure named, let's say Mortimer, stole into the forest, went into the very heart of it, found this community of fairies, and was able to steal one of the children from the cover of night. It was a very quick process now. The bag, the ceremonial bag where he scooped the children up, clasped a hand over the mewling mouth of the infant, and then ducked away as fast as they could. These were the nightmares of fairy parents. They knew that this is something that was a reality that could happen to them, but you never wanted it to happen to your own children. So Mortimer, with the mewling babe inside of his bag, rushed to the tomb of the Forgotten Reason to sacrifice this child in order to continue the charms that protected the city of Davenport and provided all the prosperity that that region found. But the child he took this time was different, as they so often are in these stories, and as he had his blade raised, and as he thrust it down towards the child's throat, because he had to kill it in the most disgusting and bloody of ways, the knife never actually entered skin. It bent as if he had hit steel, and bent the knife up and protected this child from being sacrificed. And try as he might, Mortimer tried various methods. Tried to boil the infant. He tried to smother the infant. He tried to even drown it in a boiling vat of oil, and nothing seemed to work. There was some sort of protectionist, is that a word? There was some type of protection charm on this child. And he was frantic. This was the last night before this spell that the king had done years and years previous with the old crone witch. That this had to happen tonight, or the spell would stop having its power over the kingdom. In desperation, Mortimer began to pray. He tried to think of any incantations he could try. And in so doing, he actually summoned the old crone herself, poofed in a brilliant display of lavender smoke. And she appeared before him and said, "You have but 30 minutes for this to work, or I'm taking all of the riches that the king promised me." Mortimer, of course, could not live up to that feat. He tried multiple different ways to kill the child. He was very good at knowing ways to kill children. And so after the 30 minutes, a great flash of light happened in the sky over Davenport. The riches and the prosperity almost seemed to drip away overnight. There was like a grim look to the street corners and to the buildings. People started to become kind of angry and upset in their daily lives, and the riches that the king had stored for years were vanished. The witch returned the child back to its parents. The city of Davenport realized that it could no longer feast on the lives of innocent children, and when that secret came out, Davenport was just crumbled in on itself. So the moral of the story is to not expect your own prosperity to be leached from somebody else, because it could disappear overnight. So jump cuts are great to use when you flub up lines. That was completely made up on the spot. Jump cuts used only to rectify things that I misspoke about, and the huge amount of racism that I used. If anyone is still with me, I upload videos every Monday and Thursday. You can also click on that like button and subscribe button if you want to continue to see these videos. As well, there's a little bell that you can click on to be alerted whenever those things get uploaded. What other cards do we have here? Swamp, book, border, tower. This is like a great Saturday night. Making mischief.